show.
Yes, it is.
You've heard all the other wrestling programs. Now it's time to listen to the guys who aren't booty.
And you can't beat that.
It's #WrestlePals.
Oh, hey, your hand's busy. So I'm used to you dancing at me, but that left hand's busy there. So I didn't.
I'm dancing, Nate. I'm dancing.
Oh God, he's dancing again. That was the stupid dancing was the best. Why at the beginning of every show you take me back like 20 years and like maybe more? Yes, he's dancing. He's dancing, Dad. He's dancing.
No stopping.
I was gonna yell at you for something, and I forgot what it was because you made me happy. Oh, Fresh Coat of Paint. That's the only songs part of the New Day song I can recognize. Coat paint. It's the best. I like a song that I don't know the words to, much like AJ Styles did.
Oh.
As is wants to. Stay tuned for that one. Every goddamn. Hey, everybody's #WrestlePals. He's leaving. He's given up on life, but has he given up on live? I like saying that when he's not near the microphone, so he freaks out. That was important. He needed to take care of something. Hey, everybody's #WrestlePals. Hi. I guess I'll introduce myself first. I'm #WrestlePal Nate. Hi. How are you? Do you like wrestling? I do, but I'm a weirdly closeted fan about it. Like, I don't like let other people know. But here we are on the internet, just effing it, doing it live. Weird, huh? I'm an odd dichotomy of an individual. That makes me sound deeper than I am. It's really shallow, kind of like a kiddie
Awfully
pool.
pretentious.
But, oh, hey, you back? Hey, it's #WrestlePal Justin.
yeah.
I like the pop on the mic. That was very nice. I enjoyed that. You know what? That sounds like good science.
It's all good science, Nathan. It's all good science.
I got a gallon of Mountain Dew.
See, that's no good.
I just got an IV drip. It's going right into my spinal cord.
That's even worse.
It's the best. I like to take my vagus nerve and just soak it in Mountain Dew. That way, slowly paralyzed from about mid-chest down. It's the best. Feels good. Tingles.
I hope one of those groups doesn't get mad at me because I shared it into a group you're not supposed to share it into. Sorry.
Keto.
Oh,
See, look,
Bailey
they got
gave
mad. And look, Bailey's on their side. What are you gonna do?
sorry.
You've upset them.
I've been really good about not sharing it into that group.
Uh-huh.
And then we were running late, and I was like, I'll share it into all of them.
Are we gonna call it an accident?
It was an accident.
Okay, you want to go in there and post and say, I'm sorry, everybody.
I will.
I'm sorry, Keto Pals.
I'll delete it after.
I'm sorry, Keto Pals and your cauliflower pizza. It's very good. It's a good idea. It's a lot of work. Sorry about wrestling.
Oh, my God, so good.
Once again, we're in a point where we have to apologize for wrestling. It's weird. Hi, Justin.
Oh, hi, Nate.
This is weird. Like, I've never been on this side of you before. I mean, I only ever saw, like, the one side of you, and I assumed, the other side was probably fairly similar. Most people, vaguely symmetrical. Mm-hmm. You, also, but I don't know. I expected something more from you. Like, this side was going to be totally different. Like Tommy Lee Jones in that one movie.
Two-Face?
He
had his own movie.
All I have to do at this point is name any other Tommy Lee Jones movie, and I can't think of one.
Good for you.
Was that a Tommy Lee Jones movie? Good for you? Seems like he wouldn't be in a movie called Good for You. Like, if it was bad.
Oh, good for you.
That he would be in, but it would have to be, like, in quotations with a little asterisk that says sarcastic.
Oh.
Tommy Lee Jones as that other guy who said good for you. I can't remember names or anything anymore.
What is going on with you?
I'm talking and I'm babbling because I have a job where I have to babble for like 13 hours a day. And I'm going to go do another 13 hours tomorrow, so my voice is a little but it's fine. And I don't know why. The more tired it gets, the more it wants to work.
So we might be moving the show, is what you're saying?
No, I'm
good,
man.
We're here tonight.
No, I'm once I get my flow with it, it's going to be okay. I got to work out that voice. It's going to be all right. I sound okay. As long as I make it through tomorrow without losing my voice, it'll be all right.
Mr.
It'll
Simpson.
be fine. Sorry. Hey, we're catching up on air here. Hey, it's hashtag WrestlePals. Justin.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it like right up front. And we made sure to say it last week. Okay?
Uh-huh.
If I mention the big dog, in any way,
Mm-hmm.
you stop me right away. If you need to hit me, I'm giving you permission. I would like that you not.
Yeah.
But we end up falling back on Roman Reigns talk every week. Look, I've already done it.
Well,
Son of a bitch.
I think we have enough to get through the week.
We do?
I think.
Fantastic. Justin, is there anywhere you'd like to start first?
I blew it, man.
I'm so happy you're starting there.
I blew it.
Oh,
well, I'm not happy at all.
Yeah, well,
I'm really sad.
I enjoy other people's misery. That makes me a bad person.
Thanks a lot.
But I'm also a happy bad person. Justin,
Yeah.
you blew it.
I blew it.
Do I have to yell it?
Well, I was.
There are neighbors.
Please don't.
I'm sure
I feel bad enough.
Okay.
I felt even worse when Leslie showed me pictures. I
What?
felt. Yeah. So
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Last Saturday. It was Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. The live event at the
was-
Norfolk Scope.
It was a rainy day. It was in Norfolk Scope. Not too far in the area. Like, this isn't
like
even
a 40
travel.
minute-
Like, it's there.
Yeah,
It's there for us.
It's actually further here than it is the Scope.
Right. So you could have just skipped out on coming and dealing with my sorry ass. You could have gone to the Norfolk Scope WWE live event. Now I got way late. I was busy. I was caught up in things I was not going to be able to attend.
Right.
So it would have left it to you to potentially go stag. I guess that's what they call it. Is that what they call it? No, you're just by yourself.
Just by myself.
Or other people. We had other people we knew that
yeah.
were going. You could have kind of tried to meet up with them, grabbed a seat somewhere,
Yeah.
get some of the cheapo seats, grab 3 of them, lay down for a while. Be great.
I had planned on, pretty much up until that day, I was going to just go get the cheapo seats. But as we all know, I had the big fiasco with the phone last week, which, by the way, just so you guys know, has been resolved. That's hashtag commitment right there,
Oh, my
Jack.
God.
It's been resolved.
I forgot that I had a brief reprieve from it for like a week.
Yeah, it was literally just a week.
Yeah,
Let
you
me
okay?
clear out- I am now. I've got my phone.
Okay.
I don't need any of these notifications. I'm not reading any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Why is any of this here? Because this is what's important. Hashtag commitment, Jack.
Mm.
Look how pretty.
Oh, yeah, it was the I guess she was doing a tribute to Natty and her trials and tribulations of the week.
Yeah, and we'll talk the
Yeah.
Anvil past. We'll talk about it a little bit more after the goofiness.
But Justin blew it. Live event looked like the Raw roster traveling around. The Summer Heat Wave Tour.
Yeah.
If you've never been to a live event, go to a live event. They're always fun. They're always dumb.
They're always fun.
Bring some a-holes with you. Not like jerks. There's a difference between jerks and like fun jerks. Get some fun jerks. Get yourself some hashtag WrestlePals. Go make fools of yourselves. And guess what?
You'll have a blast.
You will have a blast. And you won't have blown it.
Mm-hmm. So I tweeted at Liv Saturday. Well, at one point last week,
Like you do.
like you do.
No, like you do. I don't do that.
At some point last week, and then again on Saturday. At some point, hey, are you there tonight?
Hey, good morning. I miss you.
Well, that's.
I know you do, but you don't say that.
Yeah, I don't say that. That's how I
Okay.
feel when I wake up in the morning. Like I had those 3-4 hours of sleep where like it was just a hole without Liv. It didn't feel
hole,
right.
like
A hole in my life, a hole in my
H-O-L-E?
heart. Yes.
Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like a birth
Something
defect or
missing
something.
from my life while I was sleeping.
Oh, like your phone.
Well, my phone, but mostly Liv,
Oh.
because that's where Liv is right now, in my phone
Lives in your phone.
and in my heart, and my dreams. Sometimes.
And your Toyota Scion.
I don't have a Scion.
Whatever. It's the only vehicle I can crap on with my Honda Element. All right?
Ah.
Leave me alone. Yeah. Beat it in your Honda Toyota Scions. Get out of here.
No response.
No response.
She didn't respond to me, so
Obviously, Justin, she was upset at you. She was looking forward to you being at the live event.
well, it was Saturday. I was asking if she was going to be there.
I'm pretty sure she was looking around from the corner, looking for Justin. I mean, because you stand out, Guess.
With my AJ Styles hair.
It's okay.
I probably would have worn my Johnny Wrestling shirt.
Mm-hmm. That
that I'm
makes
wearing
sense.
today instead.
You're just wearing it in memoriam of what could have been.
Of what could have been.
The weird that
Well,
could have been. Well,
The reality is, I probably
Okay.
would have been wearing some blue shirt because I wanted to reinvent the meme.
yes.
That's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I blew it. Well, I mean, it was, in fairness, it was raining in downtown Norfolk, floods when somebody sneezes really hard.
Yeah.
So, it was kind of flooded down there.
Okay.
In my defense, I did think about that.
Are you making up excuses?
No, there's no excuse.
There is no excuse.
I wanted to go.
I mean, I had an excuse, but it's not a good one.
I wanted to go. And I didn't feel like taking it up with the wife
Mhm.
about, hey, I'm going to go
Going
to the
and
show.
seeing your fake internet girlfriend.
Well, when you word it like that,
Oh, it sounds bad, right?
how dare you?
Yeah, it sounds bad, right?
No, it sounds...
It sounds bad.
Well, that's because it's inaccurate. It's not the truth. How dare you?
She's your
I'm
real
just
internet
I'm
girlfriend?
just not bae. Yet.
You're not coordinated with that yet, are you?
Yeah, it's going to take a
You're on the other side there. You
Yeah.
wanna come in from the...
Mm-mm. I can come in from your
Oh,
side.
no, don't ever do that again. That's fine, I don't care. So Liv
I'll
Morgan
figure
was
that one
live at the,
She was. She did-
WWE Heatwave Tour.
She didn't answer.
The only person you want to see.
I-
She's probably busy. She has a job.
Seriously.
I don't know if you know this. She has a career, Justin. She's a career woman.
I even hashtagged the tweet deciding factor because that really was the deciding factor of whether I was going to go or not.
Is that a thing? Is that is that trend somewhere?
I don't know.
You just try to...
I'm trying to give her something.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That's something that she can use.
Deciding factor.
On the deciding factor, Liv Morgan. The deciding factor of whether or not somebody's
Okay.
going to go or not.
Okay. You know how...
She was the deciding factor.
Okay. You know... Oh, well, okay. I get that.
If
Now that you've explained it, but, the lawyer in court is not going to let you get that far. They're going to cut you off. Just the facts, sir. Hashtag deciding factor. What did you mean by deciding factor?
if you're going to be there,
No
I'll
further
go.
questions.
I'll go to the show. That's exactly what it is.
You're going to get the deposition.
Trying to help her prove that she's a draw?
Yes, very good. Yeah, because we're in an age where that is important.
Yeah.
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 Deciding factor. If Liv is there, you still wouldn't have been able to go.
I would have figured out a way.
Really?
I would have pushed hard.
Mm.
But not knowing
Oh.
whether or not she was going to be there, I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. I'll sit at home and play GTA.
Good plan. Good
It's a
plan.
bad plan. I think I finally hit the wall today.
I hit a lot of walls. Telephone poles. All kinds of shit. Landed in the water.
Talk about that before I leave.
Oh, my
I
God.
may have hit the wall with GTA for a couple days.
Good. Good.
Yeah, it's definitely needed.
Yeah.
So bottom line being, there is no excuse. I should have gone.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had a good time, regardless of whether or not Liv was there. The biggest
You
reason,
would have made strangers feel uncomfortable, which is always fun.
yeah, the biggest reason,
But not in a ruin your night kind of way. Like, wow, what a weirdo kind of way.
Man, that guy's having a good time. Way.
What am I doing wrong? I think he's got it figured out
Yeah.
with his fake internet girlfriend. It's not real. Thank you, inner monologue of Justin, who's deciding to speak truth.
You want some truth?
Yeah, I want some truth.
Hashtag Liv loves Justin. That's some truth. Hashtag live his life. That's some truth.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
Has anybody ever tweeted the hashtag Liv loves Justin?
Mm-hmm.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
Okay, I'm going to choose to believe you, but also not. I'm going to tell you I do.
The hashtag
That's the
WrestlePals
end of
have
it.
tweeted it.
Of course they have. Couple of jerks, those two. Good Lord. So you did not go to the live show, did not
didn't.
get to meet Liv Morgan.
I didn't, and
Yeah, I saw. Did you do the thing you said you were going to do? Invite her out for a slice and some pickles?
I didn't.
Okay.
I did say
This
I did
goof
say
like
we should-
messages like midnight that night. Hey, should I invite her out for a slice of pizza and some pickles? Now me liking to apply some sort of logic and reason, skip right past the she's famous, this is weird, and she'll say no, if anything at all. My question was, where are you going to get pickles at midnight?
Mm-hmm. Wawa.
You going to take her to
Wawa's
the
got
Wawa?
pickles. Yeah, sure.
Classy. You know what that says?
She's
hey,
on the road.
Hey, let's be friends. I'm being a ghoul. I just want to meet you at a gas station for some food. in my Toyota Scion. Yeah.
And Matt corrected you, by the way. I believe the phrase is "fuck your Toyota Yaris."
Yes.
At Toyota Yaris.
At Toyota Yaris.
That guy got crashed into.
Jesus Christ. He's not allowed back at that Burger King. He doesn't want to go, but he's also not allowed back. And that's the only reason why he would go, is because he's not allowed back. Bunch of jerks.
Oh, Christopher Brown, I see you.
Yes, sir.
I see you. He hate to say it, Nate, but he did an interview I think you'd want to read. And then he posted the quotes. It's about Roman.
Oh.
Maybe later.
Okay, if we could tell one more, if it's the telling us we gotta go point of the show, where we at the very end squeeze something in, but we're gonna try to fill out the rest of the show without Roman Reigns.
So
he's my fallback, and I feel bad about that. But I'm talking about him. So what does that say? Oh no, I'm doing it now. Stop.
All right. Let's move on to the sour news of the week. You saw it. You saw it in the open.
Yeah.
And actually, the company getting a lot of heat because Ronda does a promo up front on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart passed.
Yeah.
It didn't hit me like a ton of bricks like Roddy and Dusty did.
Mm-hmm.
Roddy Piper so far has been the wrestling death that really kind of was like, whoa.
Yeah, it was weird because I just seen him like a couple months before that at like a local show where he came through. It's like, wow, I just saw him. He looked great, and then gone. And we'd seen pictures of Anvil and Natty like at shows together at conventions and stuff, and I was like, that's great.
Yeah, 63 years old.
That's not that old.
I mean, it considering the state he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Scott Hall and Jake Roberts were pre DDP Yoga, where it's like, I'm not really surprised, but at the same time, it's like
you'd heard rumors, and there had been various issues in the past that that had cropped up, and been ongoing problems for him.
Mm-hmm.
But
it really did make me sad.
It is just it isn't as much a shock as just really bums you out.
Yeah, and I guess really we'll get into this in a second, but I watching the internet as one does occasionally.
Mm-hmm. It just makes me want to fix my beard.
Yeah, right. I can't do his laugh,
and nobody could. They piped that in.
Did you?
Just like Shockmaster.
The internet thinks it was classless, giving Ronda the mic. I disagree.
Yeah, it's a tough call either way. Natty wasn't there, right? Because she's dealing with family issues at that point. This isn't just a famous wrestler she's related to in some way. This is directly her father.
This is her dad. Yeah.
She's not going to be there.
No.
And the fact that they're giving a tribute, fantastic, of course. And Ronda is one of the top draws right now.
Yeah.
So it's weird territory to have to cover. It's like, hey, who's one of our biggest stars out there right now? Let's have them go pay tribute. And she's at least storyline related, been peripherally related to Natalya.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a friend going out there representing her friend who just lost her father.
I know,
which is okay.
Yeah, this is my ghoulish thought. I apologize for it, but Ronda has never looked more natural.
Yeah,
with the mic.
That is the weird part to be
because she was a human
treading. Yeah, and it's like it's not like this is the easy promo to get out there and give. It's just go out there, be sincere, and be human, be relatable. But the fact that they're having to have that consideration is, I think, where a lot of the people have problems with it. It's like, you're giving her an opportunity to go out there and flex some promo skills and be relatable and present herself as a human. At the expense of the Anvil.
I think if she would have gone out there and been robotic, I would have had a problem.
She's just reading verbatim. She's got notes on her wrist.
The Anvil.
Jim Neardert. I don't know how to say this.
But she meant what she was saying.
Yes.
And to me, that made it okay.
Yeah.
She meant what she was saying. It wasn't something that somebody wrote for her. She went out there and she was paying tribute to Jim. And again, I know this is making,
Mountains out of applesauce.
She at some point you can tell the switch. Like it goes from here's the end of the tribute, and now I'm switching into promo mode for the upcoming match. And again, I don't know if I just compartmentalize easier,
Right.
but that's what it was for me.
No, well, I think you and I both watch wrestling in that way, where it's more compartmentalized. You can watch standalone stories, and if there's an overarching theme for a show, cool. But we're able to break down those pieces, break down those parts, even if it's in the same segment with the same individuals. There's a point at which it clicks over, and they're doing a different task at that point. So, yeah. Yeah, I can forgive it, too. But, again, if anybody's hackles are already up from, hey, they're giving the newbie the easy one just so they can have some mic time. They're taking away from Natalia, who could do a real tribute to her father or whatever, or people that have been around for a while. Who is she done anything with that she's proven or anything? I can understand why those people get upset by it, and it's a weird territory. They had the opportunity to make that call. They went with it.
Well, I mean, who else did they just do your traditional video package? Which, by the way, they did again later. They did a traditional video package for him later. So, if that's the plan, they're doing that later. Who goes out and does that live mic sell? I hate to use that word, but who does
it
that?
is what it is. I mean, it's part of the weird carny business, man. It's like somebody's got to go out there and be the face and pull the people together and make a statement. Because if it's just straight video, then does that connect as much? Do you get the emotional connection out of it? And at the end of this, they do have to try to make that emotional connection.
Yeah.
It's the adage of political controversy. Don't let a controversy go to waste. Never fail to capitalize on some sort of tragedy. You can make something out of whatever awful things there are. And this, at the end of it, is a business, and it's not an insulting thing for them to capitalize on it and get some sort of relatability capital out of it, as far as Ronda goes.
And again,
and that isn't necessarily a bad or disrespectful tribute to the Anvil, because hey man, that's the business he was in. That's the business his daughter's in. It's what they do. It's part of it. It's a very necessary part of it. I'm sorry if you can't sell and capitalize on what's happening, then hey, what you doing? This is a weird gig for you then, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
I hate to keep harping on a point, but she was natural.
Yeah.
Again, if she's robotic, I have a problem. She was natural. She meant what she was saying.
I think that's something that really throws people off. It's like people come in, especially from the UFC, you expect good technique, and you can see them execute, and they look natural, and they have a physical presence. And then once personality comes around, it's like, okay. I guess it'll get there. It's good enough. The physical is so domineering that we can step back from the personality, and it's okay. And that's how you've ended up with. I hate to point that out, but like the very beginnings of Bobby Lashley, like back in the day, and what the rut that I thought they were going to stick him in with this time around. But as his personality develops, it becomes more relatable, more fun, and the storylines make more sense, and you can get more involved in them. That's part of that relatability capital that you have to cultivate somewhere, and this is an opportunity to use a real life scenario to get some of that. Sorry, but that's kind of the business, man.
Yeah,
it's almost a respectful thing to do. Like, how dare you not try to? The adage is you're supposed to go out looking at the lights, right? You're supposed to put somebody over on your way out. I have to think that applies in more than just your wrestling career, and that's not necessarily a disrespectful thing. I can be of service as I'm going out in one way or the other, whether it's leaving the company, whether it's retiring, or whether it's even passing. Yeah, I almost feel it's the respectful thing to do. I can be used one more time, and in a major way for a potentially major player. it seems disrespectful from the outside, but it's not for the outside to judge.
Yeah.
How do they feel about it inside? And I have to feel there's a good portion that like, no, this is what you do.
Yeah.
And it's the best tribute you can make.
And again,
Weird ground.
Yeah.
Out of my purview.
Again, the tribute is for Jim the Anvil Not Hurt, who unfortunately passed at 63. A guy who is known mostly, he's a tag team specialist. We don't have a lot of that anymore.
It was like, I remember that being the introduction to tag teams for me, the Hart Foundation, because we used to have, there's always been that team of, is the white meat babyface is just going to get beat up the whole time. Yep. Then it's come to hot tag, and then it's over. This was a team that had a technician / kind of high flyer of the two. Brett would be more of the high flyer, and then Anvil, who was the powerhouse. That dichotomy that became a standard for good tag teams that didn't have to be, hey, here's two similar people that we're just going to kind of wedge together. Yep. This is two diametrically opposed styles, and they're complementary to each other. You can show power, you could show technical ability, you could show tag team wrestling all in the same match. And nobody ever went, oh, you know, the Anvil, oh, he's the powerhouse, I like watching him. The fact that you didn't go to necessarily just see the Anvil when it was a tag team match, but you went to see the Hart Foundation be dominant. Yeah, that's a testament to it as well. There was a cohesiveness and the complementary nature of them. They were a team. It was hard to think of them as singles competitors. And I'm sorry, but Bret Hart always kind of had that weird kind of stigma to him. Of course he overcame that, and of course he was an amazing technical wrestler, and of course he was an amazing singles competitor. But there was a good long time where it was like, oh man, as a kid, oh man, I hope they get back together. I love the Hart Foundation.
Yeah. Well, and then they stuck him with Owen as the new foundation, and just did not work.
Hey man,
it's not the same.
If it doesn't mesh, and if you're trying to resurrect something, it's not always the best. It could have worked. They could have had more time with it. But then Owen and Coco tagged, and you know what?
High energy.
I don't care, man. I love it. We're going to get big weird pants. You bring a bird. This is going to be great.
We'll wear checkers.
I've got checker pants. Do you have checker pants?
Let's do it.
Yeah, they didn't have those made. They just had them already. It was great. It was Coco's stint as a 500-pound cab driver. That's where he had those from. In a very brief period.
You think about Anvil's singles career, and there wasn't much of it. I mean, he goes over to WCW at one point, and like during the Monday Night Wars, and I remember, you know, again, I've been watching the Nitros, and he pops in, and it's like,
you don't have to do that.
Just forgettable matches.
Yeah,
and it's because he never evolved from that. Like Brett evolved past being a tag wrestler.
Yeah, he developed a singles style.
Yeah. Anvil never did.
Yeah, he was just waiting for somebody to tag him, which is weird, considering it's a singles match.
Yeah, Anvil, get in the ring.
Yeah, how do you ring this? I can't ring the bell till you get in the ring. Hot tag. I'm a hot tag. Okay, cool.
And again, there's nothing against Anvil. You know, it may have worked later on if he did evolve it in some way, because it became about hitting.
Can I just say something weird that I always loved about Anvil, especially as a kid? Judge if you must. I remember, yes. I remember being a stocky kid, because I was, and seeing the Anvil, and I was like, yeah. And just enjoying it. It was almost like a weird body type that was representative, but not at a high level of performance. And the Hart Foundation was definitely a high level of performance on the tag team front. And I got to see Anvil as a weird representation of thick, stocky, strong dudes. Yeah. Is he a weird, like, covered in muscles? Is he goddamn Hercules? No. But he was just that thick, powerful, lot of burst of speed that you wouldn't expect. And seeing that as a kid, it makes me respect the people that talk about body positivity in just entertainment in general and just culture in general. Like, hey, can we not exclude all body types? Not something I've been a big proponent of. But then I think back to this as a kid and having somebody that represented, you know, I'm going to go, me and the Anvil, go into the Husky section and get some pants. This is going to be great.
To that point, though, like
No, we got jackets. We got the weird zip-up jackets, and then we laughed a lot. Nothing we love more than epaulettes and stroking the beard.
Did you watch SmackDown this week?
I has not.
Okay, so speaking of body positivity,
Yeah.
have you seen Killing Dane? What they put him in?
The weird singlet thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
You know what? I'm not against it. Obviously, it is what it is, but it does bum me out a little.
It does say insanity to me, but
he was a big hairy dude, and it's like,
well, I mean, that
we don't
was
have a lot of that.
That was that's the beauty of it, man, because he's different. I love the different, disparate, not just individuals and personalities, but body styles.
Yeah,
like dude, like the freaking come through the 80s and 90s to have an earthquake in there, have a typhoon, have a Yokozuna. They were great. Were their matches technical showcases? No, but they brought a different style that was very slow paced, plotting, big giant spots, and it was great. And I love having that different style. Nothing I hate worse than is like, all right, everybody's 220, they're 6'2", they're lean cut abs. Okay, cool. You got to see those things. You're one in a million. And there's a million of you.
Yeah.
I want different, unique individuals. And Killing Dane was great for that. They put him in a big, weird. I have no idea how to describe it other than this. And if you're not of a child, kind of the 80s, this won't resonate with you. But have you ever had He-Man toys growing up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had He-Man pants, and you know what? Those are great.
Yeah.
It made me pull on my He-Man pants and wander around the house. I was like, hey, this is all right.
No, it wasn't all right.
Wasn't?
Nah. I didn't appreciate
Am I
that.
not hairy enough? Is that the problem?
It's
just like two patches, like right in my lower back. I don't understand it. I don't know why their hair grows there.
So Kane Kenny asks.
Thank you.
We'll come back to this because I want to talk more about tag team specialists. But Kane Kenny asks, who are we going to see in the Hall of Fame? Brian Lawler, Jim Neidhart, or Vader? I think, and he gets to the point that I was going to make.
Yeah.
I think it's possible Neidhart and Vader. Vader as a singles wrestler, Neidhart may go in with the Hart Foundation as a tag team, where it would be
Brett being able to accept.
Brett and Jim.
I heard that over the past couple of years that apparently kind of behind the scenes Brett has been kind of petitioning like, hey, Anvil needs us.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer we got. And everyone's like, it's like 62, it's fine. Yeah. Hey, we'll get around to it. And it always seems to be the Hall of Fame thing. Yeah, we'll get around to it. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think of that, I could see Hart Foundation going. Anvil on his own, probably not. Hart Foundation's one of those things that if you said they're not in there, I'd be like, really?
Yeah, right.
The same thing pretty much with Vader. The fact that they didn't get Vader in there makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they had a couple of years where when he first started being very open about I'm probably gone like 2 months. And everyone's like, what?
What? Nah.
And then he had a couple more matches, and everyone was like, yeah, whatever.
He's fine.
And then he was gone.
And
it's like, Jesus.
And now he's gone.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting point that Kane Kenny brings up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought of, before he brought this up, I thought of the tag team.
Yeah.
I thought that was the only way. What about the Hart Foundation, the stable? So first of all, Brett's the only one alive.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
How far out do you extend the stable?
Okay, so the stable was Brett, Pillman, Owen, Jim, and Davey.
And you throw Jimmy Hart on there too?
No.
No?
Well,
look, I'm sorry. I loved Jimmy Hart when he was with.
Isn't Jimmy Hart already in?
Yeah, but if you were going to put a stable in, I don't know if you can exclude him.
He was the manager of the tag team, but he wasn't there during when they were stable in '97 because he was in WCW.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's his own.
No, I think if you're talking that late in the career, then I don't think the stable necessarily goes in. But I think the most iconic imagery from that was Anvil and Brett coming down to the ring together. I think even the Hart Foundation is more iconic than Brett coming down to the ring, and Brett is pretty damn iconic.
Yeah. Now I'll also say this: it is criminal that both Davey and Owen aren't in. Now we know why Owen isn't in, and that goes to Mark Henry's speech last year of please let him.
Yeah,
he deserves to be here, and I don't know how they do it. I hope this year he finally gets to have that.
So, I mean, you're talking about, like, we kind of weirdly joke about it, very morose joking about it. You induct the people as, okay, there's going to be the one weird indie guy from the friggin' 30s, before indies were indies, before territories were territories. And there's going to be some retired guys, some people that are like, oh, weird, that's like lower mid-card. And then we end up with usually one topping out maybe at two deceased individuals.
Yeah.
They almost seem like they don't want to necessarily load it up on people that have passed.
Also, lately,
You're
there's
stuck with an awful backlog at the moment because how do you say no to Vader and yes to Heart Foundation?
yeah.
Can you say yes to both? Maybe it's just the time I grew up with. I think you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
There's again, if you told me either one of those wasn't in the hall, I'd be like, really? But it's fun to say, isn't it?
I don't have a drop for that. You know what?
Press the button. You got a drop. Here we go.
You know what it makes me think
But-
though? Like I can't believe that Anvil's not already in there.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, fucking guy!
Come on. Why is he not in there?
Okay. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I want zero context.
Okay.
I want you to press that button again. Hold on. Not yet. Not yet. Have you already pressed it?
No.
Good. Don't ever press it again. I don't want. Okay, go ahead.
Come on, fucking guy!
It's a mess. Just mad that I know what that is.
What are the odds of Too Cool going into the Hall of Fame? Now, firstly, that is the only way Brian Lawler gets in.
Right.
There's no way he gets in on his own. It's Too Cool. I think that's well down the line, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't think that's this year. Scotty Too Hottie is still around.
Mm-hmm.
Rikishi's still around. I don't think that's anytime soon. Rikishi actually already a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, yeah. I almost went 3 count in there first. No? What are the 3-man weird 90s pop sensation themed wrestling trios can you think of that should go in there first? Don't worry about it. Don't answer that. Oh, dear Lord.
I'll answer it.
Come on, fucking guy!
I'm so happy that you have that. The fact that you linked that original video and was like, I know exactly what this is, it made me very upset. He's so angry and so short and so weirdly awful.
Come on, fucking guy!
I know there's the delay, and I know I should or could fill it, but I like that anticipation a little more. It wasn't for anybody watching. It was just for me. I wanted that silence of, here it comes.
Here it comes. It's coming. Come on, fucking guy.
It's the worst. Damn it, Justin. You've got to stop this.
So,
Yeah.
again, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, a tag specialist.
Yes, absolutely.
The business has pretty much, well, I don't want to say the business. WWE has moved on from this.
Mm-hmm.
Except for somebody I think is a tag specialist and should have just embrace it at this point. Cesaro. Look, I love the man. I love the man. I think he's a tremendous singles wrestler.
Uh-huh.
But he's a tag specialist. Everything he does works on some.
Look, man, I want to go back to those Chikara days, and I want to love on Claudio Castagnoli, and it was amazing. But then, like, right at the same time period, right into Kings of Wrestling, it's like, well, shit, there's that argument.
Yeah.
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 Oh, my God.
Think about it. He made a tag team with Swagger work.
It was good, too.
I liked the Real Americans.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were never tag contenders, but they were good.
Mhm.
It was a good tag team. He made Jack Swagger watchable. He made us love Sheamus.
Dude, like, can Cesaro just have a best of 7 series with everybody that we don't like? Because that's great. Because I don't know how it is that he can bring so much out of other people and still not steal the spotlight. And I
Yeah.
don't mean that as a bad thing. But yeah, that's the epitome of what tag teaming is, you know?
You have to be a team.
Be a presence, but don't be overpowering and overshadow everybody. You're there to elevate, illuminate, and complement the other individuals, not just on your team, but also in the ring. But I want Cesaro as a singles competitor.
Of course you do, and of course I do. But that's a thing that can happen eventually.
That being said, when the bar had that little bit of break there, when we were tired of the bar like every week, I was like, okay. And then they took a little bit of a break off, and then all of a sudden they showed back up. Super excited.
Happy to see him again.
Popped. I don't want to use that word.
He brought Kidd to relevancy. Like, look, Tyson Kidd, great wrestler, but he was always just kind of toiling around, and then, they sent him back to NXT, and again, he developed well on his own.
Yeah.
But then they put him with Cesaro, and they come up together as a unit, and it was great.
Did they even ever have a name?
I think it was BTE, best team ever. I think.
Well, it's so stupid. I like it.
They both came out with the headphones and
God.
with Natty. It was a lot of fun.
God, it was the worst. It was the best. But yeah, and Cesaro has that weird magic about him, where he's never like the center of attention, but he's always doing something that you want to watch, and whoever he's with, he elevates.
Yeah.
God, he made Tyson Kidd fun.
He made Tyson Kidd fun.
God, he made Sheamus wonderful.
Yeah.
But that Best of 7 series was definitely a big player into it.
Yeah, totally.
These two just want to beat the ever-living hell out of each other. Oh, they both won, so they both get a title shot of some sort. Oh, hey, tag. Hot damn, what a great story.
And it worked.
Uh-huh.
And they're still a team now.
Yeah.
And a very, very good one.
Yeah, and Cesaro compliments.
That's what he does. And, I mean...
who else do you want to see him tag with, then? Let's say Sheamus gets injured. Cesaro's going to make do for a couple months.
Let's see.
You want to see him go European model, and all of a sudden he's teaming with Breezy?
Well, who's available on SmackDown? Let's just say, unfortunately, Sheamus has to step aside because of his
he showed his penis to writers, and now. Oh yeah.
What about a guy like Dillinger?
God, it would be great. That makes me sad. Oh.
They could be like super babyface. Or
I've liked the because it's weird because Cesaro when he was with Kidd, it was more about we're weirdly cocky in our own way and we don't really care what you think about us, but we think we're great and guess what, we are, and that was kind of the vibe for it. With him and Sheamus, it's we're physically dominating. Wherever we're at, we're physically dominating is what we do. Yep. We're brawlers, even though I'm one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Yeah. I'm a brawler now. Also, I drink, but I don't. and it's great. God, even go back to like the Kings of Wrestling Day, how they complimented each other there.
Yep.
And Chris Hero, and it's just.
I think they're about to use Hero.
They say the idea.
Oh, by the way,
that would make me very happy. Okay, we're gonna talk. Once. They talk about taking your personality, turning it up to 11, and that's what it is. It's like Cesaro comes along and says, "I got one more notch for you," and turns you up to 12 while he's sitting at 11, and it's amazing. And yeah, that's the beauty of the tag team specialist. That was that weird magic that was part of the Hart Foundation.
Yeah,
Neidhart made Brett look better.
Now the obvious difference is, I feel like Cesaro, they could break up the bar right now, and Cesaro could go off and be a singles wrestler, and he'd be fine. And it would be better than Anvil's single run, obviously.
Yeah.
Here's a question from King Kenny. Do we consider Matt Hardy a tag specialist?
Ooh.
I mean, he was great on his own, but it took being broken. I liked version 2.0, but I never liked anything in between. What is it, Money Matt?
Big Money Matt.
Matt. Anything in between version 2.0 all the way up till Broken Matt. I was there. But as Broken Matt,
okay,
he was a legit main eventer.
Yeah.
And then he comes over to the WWE and he makes Bray Wyatt relevant.
And even through the
which
weird,
is a sad statement.
Even through the weird TNA stuff. When it was something weirdly special when he was teaming back with Jeff again, and Jeff was broken as well. I feel like he's entered a weird state. Matt Hardy has where he can where he can. I think he's past it now, but he had this magic period where he could just nebulously flow back and forth between singles and tag just fine. Now, Matt back in the day, tag all day. And that's what I wanted from him. I liked singles, but it didn't have that same magic. And I felt like back in that time when Jeff was going his singles route, he had a magic about him, but it became different and then it became good. It wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same in keeping that magic. He had to find like a whole new magic that hit for him.
Yeah.
It was still extreme, but it was a different brand. It got weird.
Yeah.
And then Matt never had that. And now he's developed into that amazing singles, but also really good in the tag.
Mm-hmm. King Kenny also puts out R-Truth as a tag specialist. I mean, you think about it. He teamed with Kofi.
I don't know when he
teamed with Goldie.
When he was unleashed as a singles competitor like years ago. At this point, it was fun and it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But he's another one of those. He's one that's a little more like, I want the eyes on me, and that's okay. Because he's like, hey, look at me and my friend. Not gesturing at you. Sorry. And that's a different weird eye draw to that. But I don't know that he necessarily needed I don't know. You know what threw me off on this? I would have said, yeah, okay, like a few weeks back. But when him and Dillinger were kind of weirdly talking, and he had that like weird little singles thing for like a second, you know what? Loved it, believed in the truth.
Yeah.
That being said, if he immediately started tagging with Ty, perfectly fine.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is they were getting tweets, so like trying to like the internet was trying to name the team before the team was put together.
Yeah.
Like Perfect Truth, and Ty's like, don't encourage them.
Just anything Truth.
But
Poor Truth's good. His name is so good that it can pair with anything. Like literally.
Truth and Consequences.
Oh, for Christ's
When he
sake!
teamed with Creed.
Oh my God! Just you put him with Cesaro, all of a sudden you've got the Swiss Truth. You know what? Fantastic. Literally anything.
MWO Holiday says Heart Foundation is the greatest tag team that has ever existed. Personally, I agree. That's a hard argument to make. I don't know that can be. Anybody can make an argument for literally any team.
You're gonna get the.
You're gonna get Legion of Doom.
You're gonna get those ones that are like just 5 years before that are gonna be like the Rock and Roll Express, the best things ever happened.
You're gonna get the Andersons a lot.
And it depends. It depends a bit on what.
Arn and Tully.
What stuff? Who did you? Never mind.
What?
No. This is nobody was talking about Ken Anderson. Just I don't know why. I know you know what you're talking about. I'm very sorry, sir. Shoot. Yeah, it depends on the style that you like, because there are tag team isn't just one style.
Right.
Like the Heart Foundation exemplified that technical and powerhouse together on the same team, and depending on the flow of the match, whatever pace it's going to be at whatever point, that's who's in the ring and can command that pace. The Rock and Roll Express was a different pace. It was take a beating for a long time, and then here comes a hot tag and a quick finish, quick sequence to a finish. If that's what you like, that's what you. Honestly, sometimes it isn't about what necessarily what's good. It's about what you knew, what you grew up with. That's good to you. If that's what you grew up with, that's amazing. I think you and I kind of both grew up with Heart Foundation time.
Yeah.
I like that build of a tag team.
Now, to that point, the New Day right now are my favorite team of all time.
Yeah, it's hard to argue because they have that weird interchangeability.
Yeah.
They all operate together well. It isn't like we're getting the weird version.
Yeah, there's no weird version.
Well, the closest to a weird version is probably Woods and Kofi.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's great. You know what they remind me of? And this is a weird thing, and again, this is just that era. You're a mite bit younger than me. Did you have a Nintendo growing up?
Yes.
Did you have Nintendo's ice hockey?
Yes.
Okay. That's the New Day.
Yep.
The little tiny guy, the thick dude, and then the one in the middle.
Yep.
That's what they are. You know what? You could put together a good team out of any combination of those.
Yep.
And it was good. Here's a reference.
The big guy.
Let's yeah. Well, but it was that's the difference of styles. Kofi is the definitive high flyer.
He's your forward.
Yes. Woods is all round good,
Yeah,
and
probably your center.
and also ends up playing that like white meat babyface a little bit too.
Mhm.
But then he has strong comebacks for no damn reason. It's like, Jesus, he's great. Every time he's in there, he always surprises me, and I'm like, wow, I forget he's great.
Yeah.
And then E is just,
E is going to
Great.
make a great main event singles wrestler.
I
Down the line.
can't wait to see what his singles promos are going to be like. His singles programs are going to be like. That being said, I don't want the New Day to ever break up.
No, I know.
But at the same time, when they do, I'm waiting to see what each of them do.
It's funny because
Kofi just had a birthday the other day. They always talk up Kofi like he's the old man.
Yeah.
He turned 37. Is that old?
he's the
Is
same
that
age as
old?
me.
Well, look. He again
I'm a big fat dude though,
reminds me of that
with AJ hair.
that transition that I've made where it used to be a time when it's like, hey, look at all these old dudes. And now it's like, hey, this entire roster is younger than I am. And you know what? I don't like it. Makes me sad, Justin.
Is what it is.
Bring back the Hart Foundation. Well, we can't.
Can you think of any other tag specialists or somebody that could be a tag specialist?
Could be.
Is Breeze a tag specialist, even though he's only got the one team under his belt?
It depends on who else you team him with. I think there was some weird magic, but we've had that deep dive discussion on them before.
Mm-hmm.
Those were two individuals that are like, hey, we're not doing anything. We better damn well do something.
Let's do something.
And I feel like they both have that drive on their own as
Mhm.
well. So I could see either of them picking up with anybody else and being like, hey, come on, let's move.
I liked Breeze came out and tried to tag with Rollins a couple weeks ago.
This is fine.
CrossFit Breezes.
You know what? Good. Keep doing stuff.
You
It's
have that
the best.
CrossFit Jesus thing going on, which is okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not gorgeous. That was fun. I think we may have already talked about that.
The beauties of the one-off teams make me happy. Treating it like it's going to be a regular thing
Yeah.
makes me even happier. And then it's gone
Do you
just as quickly.
Do you think Cassius Ohno, because so far they've kept him out of tag teams.
Yeah, what have you heard? What are you saying?
So
Because he's legit one of my... His old, like, ROH theme was, like, made me happy. Like, it falls right in the line of friggin' Chuggo there, but it's not... Oh.
Ah! Come on, fucking guy!
Okay, it's not quite there, but it's still that same weird... I'm an angry 90s kid. It kind of...
Dummy! Yeah!
Yeah. I'll add the third one in there because, yeah.
So he's been on television a lot lately. Like he's on a tear.
He's been weirdly stuck as that he's one of the, for lack of a better term, best hands out there.
He's like a gatekeeper.
And they've been using him as that gatekeeper. If you can get past him, then you can get on the NXT kind of main roster-ish. It's almost as if they have that lower level, and that's what the gatekeeper's function is.
I mean, the NXT tag division is stacked. So, like, if he was going to team with anybody, maybe on the main roster, as opposed to testing it out on NXT. Or is he just going to remain on his own?
I don't know. The longer it goes, the less hope I have that they're going to do something for him, and it just ends up being like one of those situations like, oh, well, he's transitioning into being a trainer now, and we're having him teach promo classes, and we're having him do. It's like, oh, that weird slow transition out where it's like, hey, they could be called up or back in at any point, or maybe they'll do a one-off match here or there. And it's like, the same transition saw like William Regal making.
Mm-hmm.
There's part of me that still says he's got some more matches in him. He's gonna get a program here any day now. Any day now. He's not.
Yeah.
Because his hair's too fantastic, and you don't take that in the ring. What are you gonna do? But there was that transition period where it was like, yeah, he's just doing this for now. But he's an in-ring competitor. He's amazing. And then it's all of a sudden you have to look back and go, it's been a little while.
Yeah.
And then come to the realization that I could see that transition happening for Cassius Ohno. And you know what? He would be amazing as a trainer.
He would.
As a worker, as somebody getting people molded into a more WWE style.
Mm-hmm.
And that if that was his job, he would be the best at it. Anything he's gonna do, he's going to be amazing at. Like when they had Sarah Del Rey come in as part of the women's training, because I friggin' loved her from Chikara, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. She's amazing. She was one of the first times I was like, she's a wrestler, and she's coming in and she's gonna wrestle, and this is going to be amazing. And then it's like, oh no, they're not.
No.
And she got into that training role, and she's done probably more far-reaching work than she ever could have done in ring as a trainer. So it's not a death sentence. It's not a death knell. You're over and done with. Nah, man, you're falling into a prime of a new career.
Yeah. Well, and you're shaping minds and wrestlers of tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
I see Kenny in there baiting me. I ain't talking about him. I ain't mentioning nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing.
All right, so we're right up against. Do you want to take a quick break? And
probably I'm gonna sleep for a couple hours. Then we'll come back because we got to talk about some. Okay, I didn't mention them at the beginning of the show at all. I didn't say anything. Okay, that's good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a lot of other stuff we talk about too. G1.
Yep.
It must be mentioned.
Something happened with your boy.
The Fallout. Which boy?
His initials are DM. Because he likes to slide up in them DMs. I don't know if he does or not. But
Dean Malenko?
No, it's not Dean Malenko. Dave Meltzer.
I know.
That guy.
Oh, and also, hey, you don't want to hear that said in court with Randy Orton.
Oh, yes.
All right. But yeah, we'll come back and I'll not talk about dogs or pigs. I'm pretty excited about this. Come on. No.
Oh, we can give you that.
Please don't.
No problem.
Come on, fucking guy!
All right. We'll be
literally, every time you play it, it makes me think what he just said. Jerk.
You're welcome. We'll be right back.
Hashtag WrestlePals. Bye.
Hooray for happy accidents, but it's no mishap that I care. Pump the brakes, there's more to come. Wherever this goes, I'll see you there. The problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. They say that those are the breaks. I say that's why we riot. Off the shoes of those lovely kicks, you'll get laid out, but I suggest you try it. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and her kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and her kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and her kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and her kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and her kicks off fire. Her kicks off fire. Her kicks are fire. Her kicks are fire. Her kicks are fire. Are you Nate Gas?
I tried to hold it. Pete Gas, tag team specialist.
You know? I mean, he did win the hardcore championship.
I just like that they tried to make them individuals.
Joey Abs, Pete Gas, and the other guy.
The other guy, Repo Man. That's right. I can't tell you how hard, like, setting up the new stuff. I got the Berserker. Ow, shit. It's sharp.
Careful.
Ow. He's got a sword.
Jesus. How far? How?
You can move her if you need to. There you go. That looks weird.
So
Mostly because we're in the
I can
shot.
I can start right here.
Mhm.
And still have to come.
What?
Jesus.
Take that out of context, if you will.
Woo.
Oh, come
Not
on,
bad.
fucking guy.
Yet.
No, it's
Not
still
bad. Yet.
good lord.
Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
Will you stop?
Brought all the toys today? That's my favorite one. Can we bring that one back a lot?
Oh no!
Are you answering me with it?
Will you stop?
Okay, fine, I will. Jesus.
Oh no!
You're right, I won't. That's right. I will go on forever.
Ah! Come on, fucking guy!
Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin. If you'd like to support me in my stupid endeavors. Because this is what I do with my time.
He gets aboard and does dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Good Christ.
Well, I mean, if you go to the Patreon, you get the Oh Hi Justin pod a week early.
Yes, the man doesn't like to have to promote himself. And this is where I should step in and help him. But I'm not gonna,
You like
because
to
he
watch me
needs to
flounder.
learn how to promote himself. Because Justin does great stuff.
I
Get
do
on
st- I do
board.
stuff.
Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin. You can go there. He's throwing out the Oh Hi Justin pod every damn day. You know why? Because it makes him better. Self-analytical, deep dives, sometimes, often, dumb. And you know what?
Mhm.
Those are the best.
I like being
Those
dumb.
are the best. Also, the home of is the hub for these ghouls.
Yes.
I believe.
I played it during the break.
I know you did.
We can analyze it.
That's when I took
This is some of these ghouls.
That's when I took the headphones off and ran.
Why would you do that? You hear this? There's 2 vocal tracks. 3 vocal tracks.
Who are you, Matthew Sweet? Cut that out. What's wrong with you? I don't think anyone's ever been accused.
Kicks of fire.
Problem child.
Kicks of fire.
Jesus, Justin.
I told you I'm writing the Live His Life EP.
This is a song.
real.
But Christ. Don't sing along with your own damn song. Stop it. If you like that,
You said you don't?
Patreon.com/Oh Hi Justin.
Pretend like you don't like it all you want.
Yeah, I know.
Kicks of fire.
See, I've tricked him into promoting himself. He likes his stuff.
Kicks of fire. Live his life. Kicks of fire.
I like the way that you know the lyrics.
Yeah, of course.
Good Christ, Justin.
I can almost do this one live, which I'm gonna do.
Let's not do that.
Yeah.
The ukulele right over yonder.
I just mean like whenever I start playing out live.
Of course you will. Out in front of the Norfolk Scope of the Hampton Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
You and that dude with the bucket. It's going to be great.
I'm just saying, you get those before the world.
Yep.
Those songs before the world.
And it's also the home of #WrestlePals.
That's right, baby.
And the finest music show that exists. It is. Some episodes better than others. Deprogrammed, where Justin and a cavalcade of individuals come together to make a top 10 list, starter pack, if you will, representative of individual bands. Some of them are great, like the President of the United States episode, or the Hives episode, or the Weird Al Yankovic episode, or maybe the They Might Be Giants episode.
Huh.
Those were all really good. I liked those.
It's just a weird trend there. Those are all episodes that you were on.
I was on those. Were my favorites. I just like James Duvall. Oh, dear Lord.
The Def Leppard episode, I've heard mixed reviews on this.
Hey, you know what? Controversy.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had to stand my ground. I've had a lot of people tell me it was hard to listen to because people
Awkward
were
and
being-
awful?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't turn it off, did they?
Mm-mm. Makes good pod.
It was awkward to listen to. Good. That's the sweet sound of... I can't say it right. That's the sweet sound of science right there.
The sounds of science. Frostberry Blast.
We're idiots. Like, nobody's giving us any money for anything. That's why we promote things, ever. I'm not just talking about science. I mean stuff in general. Like,
You ever want to feel bad about yourself? Start a Patreon and watch how... It's... Now, that being said, I do appreciate anybody who has jumped on. I really do appreciate everybody who has. But everybody else is just like, fuck that guy.
Credit cards maxed out, Justin.
I know.
Yeah, I know you do. It's been that way for months.
Hey, man, I'm not stressing it. It's just,
Continue. Carry on.
no, I'd
Carry
rather
on.
not, actually. Kane Kenny asks if we have any SummerSlam predictions. I don't know, man. I don't,
Lots of matches.
lots of matches. It's
Probably going to take place in August.
it's going to be a good show.
I could be inside, could be outside.
I
One of
don't
those two, definitely.
I don't like doing the predictions because it's wrestling. Number one, most of the time I'm wrong, which I'm happy about.
Nothing I love more than getting got.
I love being wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather talk about the ramifications of what happens rather than what's going to happen.
Potential storylines for, rather than speculating on the future, we like to speculate given a new beginning.
Right.
New beginnings are better than predicting ends.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way we look at it. It's going to be good. It's going to be a damn good show. It's a stacked card for no damn reason.
That card's insane.
Like, usually it's like, okay, we've got a few headlining things, and then fill it out with some grudge matches that we kind of throw together, and then kickoff shows, just some kind of stuff. Who we got left? Pair them up. Make them hate each other for like 2 weeks. Nah, dude, top to bottom, like even like pre-showy type stuff.
Even the pre-show matches have stories.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've been telling the story between Rusev Day and Zelina and Andrade
Mm-hmm.
for like almost a month.
Yeah. It's been fantastic.
It's great. And of course the cruiserweight match I think is on the
Man, at least
pre-show. It's
at
gonna
least
be.
it's somewhere on a card somewhere, which is nice, for goodness sake. But then you gotta, like, I think it was Rusev was on Twitter. It's like, very proud to be sharing the pre-show with the cruiserweight title. It's like, you sound snarky.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
And
Happy Rusev
the
Day.
Raw tag.
I don't
is
have
the
that.
pre-show.
I need to get that. Sorry.
The Raw,
There's an asset I forgot.
yeah. The Raw tag championships are pre-show.
Really?
Well, that's because they just had the
Yeah, just
championship match
just
on
really
Monday.
set it up. So it's going to be kind of rematch B Team versus Revival.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You want to start there?
First of all, I like that the B Team is not just a flash in the pan there.
I think
They're weirdly coming together as a team.
I think it came together, and it's getting way more over. There, I think there's a lot of factors here. Number one, it got way more over than they expected,
Mm-hmm.
which you never know. That happens sometimes in wrestling.
People pick up on dumb stuff, and all of a sudden
Mhm.
it's Rusev Day.
Yeah, I hate that theme. I hate the theme they changed it to, but whatever.
Well, then write him a new one, sir.
Maybe.
It's a good title for it. May be
You
team.
you can't write a new song without B team. There's a B in it. They're so stupid. It's the best.
Yeah,
100%.
100% committed.
I honestly think they were working towards like a weird Four Horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously it wasn't going to be called that, but that's just what I wanted.
But it is the greatest name ever. Weird Four Horsemen of Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel.
It's what I wanted.
Uh-huh.
Looks like that's not going to happen because
Well, we've had these weird cryptic tweets from Matt Hardy, too.
which
Like,
is what
hey,
he does.
hey, I'm kind of half-ass dropping the shtick a little bit and talking about being injured. Here we go. But here's the shtick again, just to confuse you.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's-
Goodbye, Bray.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And Bray actually tweeting out that, hey, I need a badass band to write me a new theme.
Ooh.
Yeah, because changes are coming. Well, I mean, the thing is, Matt's pelvis is apparently fusing with his spine.
Yeah, I think the first thing he put on Twitter was, I forget the name of the maneuver, but it was where he does the...
Omega something.
Yeah. It's just a leg drop, top rope leg drop to the middle of the damn ring. And you're taking as much as you can on your legs, but you're cradling your legs, so you're not killing the dude. Whether that impact has to go somewhere.
Yep.
Right in your pelvis,
Yep.
right in your lower spine, and insinuating that there's been some fusing happening, and thanking a lot of people and being very gracious and
Thank
very
you,
pleasant.
Compeer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you hate to see him go out because, again, he's super over, and he brought Bray back from... I honestly thought Bray was done. Like, I love the guy, but...
Weirdly ruined because they kept using him in a way that's like, yep, we need you to talk to get this story over. Oh, you're going to lose too.
Yeah.
But, put everything into it, put all of your capital into it, and then lose. Okay, go.
Yeah. Well, and I always stick to... I always stick to the fact that nobody ever wanted to boo him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was his job as a cult leader type. Who's going to boo a cult leader? Like, the idea is you're following the
How's
cult
that
leader.
Patreon going? Boo. Boo. That is tomorrow's episode.
Not a cult leader.
Justin starting a cult.
Hey, I'm joining a fucking cult. You need to join me too. There's a girl that wanted me there.
All right, there's neighbors. I know you love Liv Morgan, all right? It's fine.
I love Liv Morgan. How's that?
I'm sure you'll video the proper thing. She may have heard you had you said it, but no, I guess not.
I love Liv Morgan.
Hello? There's rats in the walls.
Nathan.
Huh?
I love Liv.
Yes, inner monologue. What was that? I'm sorry, I spoke over you. What's going on?
Justin loves Liv Morgan. I love Liv Morgan.
Repeat a little clearer, please.
I love Liv Morgan.
If you're monologue, does that mean that's me?
No.
Who's speaking? No, it just answers me directly. That's how your monologues work. No, stupid.
Hey, shut up, stupid.
No, dummy. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You know.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
not
inner
make
monologue. My inner monologue's Colin Quinn now.
Hey, let's not make a big deal out of it,
I love whispering sexy Colin Quinn. This makes me happy.
Ah! Come on, fucking guy!
All right, we're done. Justin,
Yeah.
completely change gears.
Mm-hmm.
Dummy! Yeah!
He has a point. The G1 is amazing.
Okay, yeah.
Fantastic matches after fantastic matches, matchups that you wouldn't see anywhere. New Japan's G1 tournament is, I feel like everything King of the Ring could be. This is like the epitome of what a tournament can and should be. It has everything that I love about
round robin.
Yes, round robin. Everybody's going to face everybody, so you see the brackets and you get to build that anticipation. Someone's going to face somebody, and then you're just like, oh, so who's going to win A block? Who's going to win B block? And who's going to come together in the finals? And what could play out? And
You
then
also have stories like Tama Tonga, who
or-
was eliminated a while ago,
Yeah.
but still became a bigger star. from-
yeah, and wants to just be a split. It's like F your thing. I'm just going to do what I want. I
Yeah.
don't care about your tournament. I've been running this thing and performing in it well for years.
Yeah.
It's what I do. I don't need your points. Stuff them. He cocks his arm like some other person.
Yeah, they were at each other. It was fun.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Machine.
Shut up. I can't say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Woof woof.
We'll wait a little. That's a little small. That's a little dog.
Oh, that's a different guy. I could say that one all day. But we got into the finals of the G1, and a lot of stuff happened, including like I think it was Zack Sabre Jr. beat Naito twice. So the final promo there was like, yeah, that means I get 2 championship matches, right? So it's setting up coming out of this, setting up amazing programs, and you get pairings of people that you wouldn't normally see. I think the big one that everyone was going on about was Omega versus Ishii. It was just like really brutal for no damn reason. And it's like I didn't expect a great match from that, but it makes you realize how great and stacked their card their roster really is. Anybody can be a top contender at any time. It's just a matter of where they want to go story-wise.
It's funny you say that, though, but every year Ishii has that match.
Yeah.
It's somewhere. It's not always at G1, but somewhere.
And then you get weird moments like the last year had the Evil beating Okada.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? That entitles them to a championship match. And they are masterful at planning out their storyline for the upcoming events, and it's absolutely wonderful.
So I didn't keep up with it very well.
I didn't keep up. It felt like it went really, really fast.
It did,
All of a sudden, we're to the finals, and it's like the finals are over. It's like, whoa, what? It's like I wanted to build that anticipation for a little bit. The finals ended up being Ibushi versus Tanahashi. And
what a matchup.
And going into it saying, well, oh my God, they're going to pull that the Golden Lover storyline, man. Ibushi's going to win, and he's going to go on to challenge Omega at Wrestle Kingdom. These two are finally going to implode at Wrestle Kingdom, and it's going to be amazing. And Tanahashi wins. It's like, oh. And I was ready to be like, well, I don't really feel like I can boo Tanahashi, but I want Ibushi to win. This is what I want. Come on, Ibushi. And then Omega comes out with Ibushi. And so Omega's in the corner of Kenny. is in Ibushi's corner. And then Tanahashi comes out. He's got Shibata.
Oh, jeez.
Shibata, who's like, his shirt is just the wrestler, because goddamn it, if he ain't. And he's been injured, and it's like, no way he's coming. And you know what? He looked good. He looked like very secretive on those updates, man. But I don't know. I want to see him back in the ring, and I get this weird feeling like it could happen. And the beauty of New Japan is sometimes you never know how much is going to be story and how much is going to be how much is real, and they blur the lines very well. As Tanahashi brings Shibata as his kind of corner man for the night. And you can't help but say go Ace at that point, because goddamn, you've got Shibata. And amazing match, and like into the closing sequence, Ibushi does that second rope lift German suplex from the outside. And it's like, what the hell are you doing? How do you even come up with this weird stuff? And then Tanahashi ends up winning. So we're going to get Tanahashi challenging for the IWGP Heavyweight title at Wrestle Kingdom. Yes, that's what Def Comedy.
Oh God, I wish I had a Russell.
That's what Def Comedy Jam should have been called. Russell Kingdom.
I so wish I had a Russell Brand, but I can't even do a British accent, let alone a Russell Brand.
Can you do a Russell Simmons?
No.
You can't say thank you for coming out. God bless. Good night.
No, but I can kind of do a very bad Colin Quinn.
I prefer whispering, sexy Colin Quinn. Can you give that to me, please?
No.
Thank you. So yeah, but that puts into doubt, and that's the weird thing about New Japan. They'll put anything in doubt at any moment. Is Omega still going to be the champion come Wrestle Kingdom?
That's what I was going to ask.
Because I guess with Ibushi had a win over Omega to win that block. Ibushi technically could ask for a championship match at some point. And then, and again, the weird thing about New Japan is it lets your mind race. It gives you options. Anything can happen. It hasn't been that long ago that they never had like a ladder match before. They usually are very traditional about matches, one-on-one matches, tag matches, trios matches. How about a three-way? Omega, Ibushi, Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom? Could be amazing. But I go into this not knowing, and we're going to get programmed all the way through January 4th.
I think that also depends on Jericho, because he's still there Intercontinental Champion. If he still has more dates, which I would have to assume, and he can co-main.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Interesting.
And that's the beauty of that. And another weird thing that came out of the G1 thing was Okada, he's had a Gato in his corner forever and ever and ever, just forever yelling, "Come on, Rainmaker!" And Okada just announces, hey, we're still both in chaos, but he's not going to be my manager anymore. I'm just going to go out of the ring by myself. And that's one of those weird things. Is like, what are they doing? It's weird, and it's just weird enough to make you go, I wonder what they're doing.
Make you go,
Pretty much. And so G1 is not just G1. New Japan is masterful at coming out of events with weird possibilities always on the horizon. And their storylines are built that way, where it's ever flowing and ebb and flow of stories always going one into the next, and it's fun to watch. Fun to watch.
Fun. I always hate that, but it's also the same thing I love about New Japan is I miss a lot of it.
The pacing of the storylines are way fast, man.
Yeah, but
we're used to like 3-4 week builds to a pay-per-view. All of a sudden they're doing a show like every 2 weeks. Then like 1 month they'll have like 4, and then they'll be quiet for like 4 weeks. And it's weird. It's hard to keep tabs on.
Well, I also feel like I don't need to watch them all.
You can go back and watch that Ibushi Tanahashi match and just be amazed by it, or you can go back and watch highlights.
Yeah,
and be amazed by it. And it's very accessible. Storylines are never weirdly deep. You don't have to know deep histories, but the more you know, the more enriched the storytelling is. They keep it very basic, very surface, so it's accessible to a layperson just coming in. It's like, oh, these two are fighting because the winner goes on to whatever.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you delve into the stories, oh, they've crossed paths here and there and here and there. This person's associated with this person, and we want them to win because they would go on to this and that and this. It's as deep as you want to make it. It's as complex as you want to think. And if you don't want to think, hey, man, the action's good too if you just want to stick around for that.
Yeah.
New Japan's great for that.
So, speaking of New Japan. And speaking of Kenny Omega.
Okay.
There's a man who consistently gives New Japan 6+ star matches.
Oh, boy.
We don't have to go too deep on this.
Okay.
But we do have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Your man's Dave Meltzer in them.
Put him in my man's.
Your man's in them. Dave Meltzer.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to hear the full context, but I don't know that there's a full context that can make it okay.
Okay.
So I listened to the clip that, I guess there's a clip that got shared to Peyton Royce.
Yeah.
Who reshared that clip to her Twitter today.
Right.
In it, he's saying, the Iconics aren't connecting, which is a valid point.
And he's entitled to his objective opinion. He doesn't feel they're hitting, doesn't feel they're as resonant as they were in NXT.
Got it right here. Is this the normal stuff for? Let's see. No. I mean, I could play the audio, but it'll sound like garbage.
Yeah. But basically, they were talking, and he said they're not quite as connecting as much, and
he doesn't like their promo work.
Yeah, and doesn't like their in-ring work, and doesn't quite stack up to the top of the women's card.
Or the work that they did in NXT, which I disagree with, but this is okay.
But it's different thing. Yeah, and that's well within the realm of being an objective observer. Excuse the pun.
Hey-yo.
Whatever. And then the conversation steers ever so slightly into appearance, because whether we like to admit it or not, it can and is often a factor. And
look, I've been ghoulish in that way too. As far as
we try to be good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to have some. They're attractive women. That's the reality of it. They're all very beautiful women.
Right.
And at the very crux of it, that's unavoidable. As a heterosexual male, I'm going to see an attractive woman, and that's what I'm going to see.
Yeah. I
try my best to keep that completely separate from in-ring character, in-ring work. But sometimes it's hand in hand. That being said, I don't know that I've ever said anything along the lines of, I don't know, she was lighter. She was more attractive. She was lighter.
Yeah, and even at the realm of saying attractive, what he found attractive is still, I feel like, within his opinion.
Hello, Ken.
And though it's like right up to the edge, I don't feel it's quite crossing the line. Other people are going to have different opinions on that. And there was like a weird little pause, and then he said that she was lighter then. Yeah. As if to support the opinion that he had just made. Yeah. And it almost sounded immediately like, "Ooh, no, I should not have said that." And Twitter goes goddamn bananas,
Which they do.
which they do, because you have people coming out saying, he's entitled to his opinion and stuff. You got people coming out saying, Peyton Royce did respond, which good for her for being like right on top of it. If you want to,
This is her response.
linking the clip so you can hear the audio with a bit of context and in the own words, in their own delivery, with their own inflections.
Right.
And then she responds.
So what would you have me do, Dave? Starve myself? This is how nightmares for young women start. The females in your life must be proud. She has a point.
Mm-hmm.
She has a point.
And it was I believe it was before that Dave Meltzer was quick to say that he felt remorse.
Yeah.
And tried to express it as much, but as he's wont to do, I do the same thing. Add more words. Adding more words to an apology or a retraction, usually not the best thing to do. The more you talk sometimes in an apology, the more muddied it gets and the more pissed off people become. And the more insincere those that follow you kind of feel you might be. But he's gonna deep dive into his thought process and put it all out there. And I think genuinely he doesn't mean to be ghoulish.
Yeah.
And he's trying to be objective. And a lot of people think that this isn't an objective opinion, at least that line. And I feel he felt that he crossed that line with it and tried to retract it. And then you've got people that are jumping on to defend, jumping on to attack. And that's the weird behavior that I'm not going to say I find objectionable, but I have weird thoughts about it. Like, is this somebody trying to get themselves over by jumping in on the controversy? But again, never waste a controversy. Never miss an opportunity to promote yourself, to get yourself out there and have your voice heard. That being said, it sucks when it's something awful.
Yeah.
But what you got?
So this was his response to Peyton's tweet.
And he tweeted directly to that, in direct
Right.
response to it. Okay.
I'd like to apologize to you. You are an exceedingly attractive woman, which I don't know if that even needs to be said. I do realize the lengths and pressures on women in the entertainment world to maintain unnatural looks at times, and I'm glad you pointed this out. And he adds, again to everyone, I do want to apologize. I'm glad Peyton Royce sent her tweet because there was a valuable point there that we can all learn from. And then, he spends another couple hours, just trying to
walk it back.
put out fires.
And again, it's going to depend on your opinion. If you feel it's disingenuous, or if you feel he just misspoke, you're going to have your opinion. And I think the more that it's talked about, the more galvanized people become on one side or the other. I don't think anybody's going to be swayed one way or the other. He came out and he made the apology. You accept it and move on, or you say, hey, I always thought he was a piece of garbage.
I'd like to keep ignoring him.
Probably. And honestly, the best thing you can do to somebody you find objectionable is just let them flounder in anonymity. Let them flounder in
I found this
other word that probably means anonymity.
Leslie shared a tweet from I think it may have been Peyton's, and said, why does Dave have so much credibility? And she hates the guy. #fuck Meltzer to be.
Jeez.
Well, there is a way to put this to old Dave.
Come on, fucking guy!
Yeah, and yeah.
Again, I hate talking about him. I hate bringing it up, but it happened. So it happened in the wrestling world, and it needed a little bit of attention. So
yeah, and
we talk about the ghouls a lot on this show. So
that's
it's
okay.
Like
Well,
he was being ghoulish.
Sometimes the behavior needs pointed out and said that it's kind of objectionable and we don't like it. And guess what?
Call the ghouls to the carpet.
It gets you no attention. What do you want to? I mean, if your entire goal was to sexually harass a woman you've never met and never will, good job. You've made somebody feel bad.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day. Sweet. Neat, dude.
Neat, dude.
My voice is starting to give.
All right.
No, I'm good.
We're getting towards the end of it. So, I don't know if you saw this. I shared this in the gimmick.
Oh, yeah. I like the people coming out on the various controversies. Seth Rollins, -6 stars, Dave. That's a wonderful.
All right.
Yeah.
-6 stars. All right.
Jesus.
And Tyler Breeze had a great point.
Mhm.
His unfortunately Meltzer's voice carries weight.
Yeah.
Use it for positive. Like, why would you run somebody down? And
Sometimes
it
that's
just
easy,
doesn't
man.
make sense.
Sometimes that's easy.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just where the head goes, where the conversation goes. And just often that's where the real person kind of slips out. And sometimes that ain't the face you want to show people.
Yeah.
Especially in a professional setting. So is that a problem with the person that's hiding who or what they really are or what they really think? Or is the problem the lack of professionalism with out being able to maintain that, keep that under control, and be professional in that moment? Matter of
It's
perspective.
just funny because I think back to YWS days, and I was definitely much more ghoulish then. Like, that was a constant conversation of, oh, this chick's hot.
Right.
And I mean, in fairness, that was the way the WWE presented the women's product.
The Divas product, sir.
The Divas product, absolutely. And, again, it started to change with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started to change, try to pull back from being so ghoulish. And now here you are, 5 years later? I don't know how long it is later, but
We're old, dude.
I'm trying to not be ghoulish anymore. But some people are just, is this ghoulish behavior from you man's Randy Orton and them? You man's Randy Orton?
I'm trying to pull up like the official statement,
Yeah.
but searching specifically for Orton, it's just that's the only story coming out. Oh dear God. Oh jeez.
Did you see what they did with him on Tuesday?
What'd they do with him?
They made him stare
Take
creepily.
his penis out?
No.
Okay.
They made him stare creepily from behind a curtain. Like, he was way off
Was his
from the ring.
was he brandishing at any writers?
I don't think so.
No, apparently that story came out that back in, I believe it was 2012.
Yeah.
Apparently it may have been an ongoing thing. Randall.
Nathan,
Oh, Christ.
would you like me to pull out
No, I don't want you to.
my RKO?
Please keep the snake to snake.
My Viper will strike at any
S-
moment.
Please don't. If you could just.
Would you
keep
like to see my
No,
Apex Predator?
no, I wouldn't. It's awful. Apparently, fun rib.
My Viper
Okay.
out of nowhere.
No, out of your pants. That seems to be the problem, sir. If you could, don't. So apparently it was a
Dong.
tis. A rib in the day would be for him to, hey, you guys are writers, right? Well, look at this thing, and he would just extricate
Show his Viper.
from his pantalones and I don't know, do stuff. Whether brandish it like a weapon, I hope he like finger guns, except pants guns.
I hear
Please.
voices from my pants. They don't.
They counsel me in underpants.
Do you think you'd pull it out and do the pose?
Absolutely. Wouldn't you? If you have a signature pose, do you not do that naked? Do you have a signature pose, Justin?
I don't have a signature pose.
Work on that. Work on that for
Sure.
next week. We're going to work on signature poses. Mine's going to be a little... It's a little Larry David, I know. I'm sorry. Anyway. So, yeah, that story's coming to light now. And it's one of those things that... Orton falls in a weird bridging area between an older style locker room where Mr. Fuji might catch and kill a dog and serve it to you, and people even stories
Crapping
of
in
Orton
bags.
crapping in your bag and saying, oh, hey, there's your stuff and my poop. and more weirdly sophomoric and old schooly kind of, for lack of a better term, like Animal Housey garbage, right? Ribs, ribbing, joking, making people uncomfortable and upset, and degrading and denigrating in weird ways as a way of building camaraderie. And that was an era and a lifestyle that just kind of was then. Was it right? At the time, maybe. Whether those that were uncomfortable and did not like it and did not enjoy it and may have been excluded because of the lack of participation in it, yeah. Is that wrong? Probably. But it was also what that time was. Now we're getting closer to the modern era, when you're still doing those old school type things. Maybe people take a bit of offense. Not only, they probably took offense before, but it was a little less appropriate to go, hey, that guy pulled his... he pulled this thing out, and he waved it at us. He helicoptered. It was terrible.
He piscoptered?
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
And if you had said that back in the day, it would be like, get out of here. Well, you can't hang? Beat it then. And we're in an era now where it's like, we'll go have a talk with him. Right after we issue this statement.
Yeah.
And this happened in 2012, coming to light now, and it's one of those things. Like back in the day, back in even 2012, you may have been able to say, hey, I took my teeny wanger out and brandished it at the writers.
What do we got here?
Mm-hmm.
Couple of teeny wangers.
And I brandished it at the writers, and they went screaming to the hills. It was great. What a fun time. And then you have to hear that in court like 6 years later. Mr. Orton, it appears, I hope the lawyer talks just as slow as he does, just so you can understand.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Orton, did you brandish, and there's going to be inflection on the wrong words, just brandish your penis at the writers? No, sir, I think you did. And there are many corroborating stories of this sort of behavior. And what was a fun rib in 2012 ends up being a goddamn controversy 6 years later. And, it sucks for everybody involved.
Dummy, yeah.
Here's a tip. Justin, I'm going to give you a tip.
No, I don't want the tip.
Not.
I don't want any of it.
Thank you. Okay, I was weighing options at that point. Justin, I want to give you some friendly advice, okay? This is from me to you, just worldly advice.
Okay.
Take it or leave it if you will, but I think this is a lesson I've learned I'd like to pass along to you and perhaps to the people. All right. You know how you have a penis, right?
Make a big deal out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't make a big deal out of that. You know how you got one of those, right?
Yeah.
Don't take it out and wave it at people, okay?
Come on, fucking guy.
Even Chuggo. I know the sign on the what should be the Hollywood sign says Chuggo would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chuggo would.
And Chuggo would probably keep it in his pants.
No, that's why Chuggo was in court in the suit and tie.
Come on, fucking guy.
And that's what happens. You get to go to court in a suit and tie because you brandished your...
Can I yell, come on, fucking guy, in the court?
Not in court, because the weird stenographer is going to be like, yeah, I don't know, man. Come on, effing dude. Because guy isn't in there.
Oh.
I don't know how stenographers work. I assume they use fingers. Probably a stenography machine. A machine with stenographers. Starting to get punchy.
Stenography?
Also, an important lesson to you out there. And this is from... I feel I can speak for both of us on this, okay? And if you object, by all means, step in and stop me, okay? Hey, you know how y'all got penises, most of you? Some of you. Half, slightly less than half, approximately 49% of you. Not our viewership, though. Don't take that out and wave that at people.
Yeah.
Okay? Unless they say, hey, would you mind? And then if you agree, then consenting adults can do that. But as a general rule, and again, stop me if I'm out of line here, Justin, do not remove your penis from your pants and brandish it at coworkers.
And also, if you are doing that, I think Gorilla Monsoon said it best.
Will you stop?
I hope that was the reaction, because nothing would... I think that would be the best reaction to somebody if you go to work and somebody is just.
Hey man, check this out.
Oh, wait,
Check
look!
this out.
I made you look at my penis. Will you stop?
You acting like a child.
You shouldn't have to deal with that in the workplace. But wrestling's a weird world, man.
Yeah. Or you could always do this. Randy Orton, you're pulling out your penis in the workplace?
I believe that sums it up.
Mm.
I don't know what happens from that, man. I really don't.
Well, I mean,
6 years later,
6
did
years
they punish
later,
him?
and I don't think
Did they
there's-
release a statement of
there's
some
enough,
sort?
enough corroborating like stories, but I
Hey,
don't think
this
they have
is
any proof.
this is the thing he does.
Don't think they have any proof. So it's like,
Randy Orton pulls out a penis, touches himself, and then asks new writers to shake his hand. Okay. It's even better. It's beyond a sexual assault, kind of, and on into domination type stuff. Like, dude, you're already the apex predator. How much higher you want to go, man?
just wants to.
You
show
just want to
everybody he's
shake
Viper
hands?
Man.
I think that's called a Dutch rudder. I'm not sure. I'm
What?
old. I don't know these things.
What?
Will you stop?
Oh,
Dummy. Yeah.
it's just a quote from the show that this story came from. For every new writer that would show up, he comes in the room, puts his hand down his pants, pulls out his, touches himself,
The
then
Viper.
then says, "I'm Randy Orton. Shake my hand." Oh, you don't want to shake my hand? You're big leaguing me? That's effed up, man. Should I tell Vince and Steph that you won't shake Randy Orton's hand in third person? That's great. That's just weird.
It's even 2012 was it was a different.
Maybe you shouldn't
Place,
have done it then
different
either.
No,
But yeah,
that should never be acceptable. You know, it never ever should have been acceptable. But
yeah. There was Attitude Era. There was like ruthless aggression. There was never pull your penis out and wave at it and handle yourself and then berate people for not touching your touched
touching
hand.
the Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
no, that was again big news story. If we don't cover it, who the f are we? Did you see this other thing I shared in there?
What was that?
Kaiju Big Battle has a Kickstarter.
What the hell, dude? Okay, look. I have that weird soft spot for Chikara, right?
Mhm.
Somewhere deep below the dark levels of Chikara, there's another organization called Kaiju Big Battle. If you have never checked it out, by all means, go do so. Battle is spelled wrong, though.
BATTEL.
That's all right, because I can't get past spelling kaiju. But it's out there, I swears to you.
Mm.
Big giant monsters, or people in suits as monsters, fighting in a ring full of like weird paper mache buildings.
Yep.
So it looks like a goddamn monster movie.
Yes,
And it's great.
it's the best.
That being said, they all of a sudden out of the freaking blue, man, they Kickstarter for Kaiju Big Battle figures.
Yeah.
Now I only saw the initial pic. Did they say anything about how big they are? Are they like right in line with the old muscle figures?
Let me bring that up and we'll see.
Because they with that same color, the little muscle figures from like the 80s and whatnot, with all of the little flesh tone characters.
Jesus Lord, they have 300 backers, $14,000 raised to 15,000 with
What?
15 days to go.
One guy gave 13,000. It was amazing. He's gonna get the whole set.
Let
And I mean the actual individuals. They will come to his house and do a show. It's gonna be great. I
let's
want
see.
Steam Powered Tentacle Boulder to show up here.
Limited edition minifigures featuring Kaiju Big Battle.
Mhm.
Before MUSCLE muscle,
Uh-huh.
there was Kinkeshi. Let's make Kaikeshi Kaiju Big Battle.
So they are. They're reminiscent of the little muscle figures, and
Mhm.
goddamn, those were cool, man. I loved. That was like the first like weird like collectible as a kid. You know, you're not getting all the Star Wars figures. You ain't getting all the Transformers. You ain't getting all the He-Man figures when you're a little bit younger with the He-Man Killian Dane pants. No, you're not doing that. Muscle figures. Give me 100 of those. I want the big pack of like 300 of those. Trade them around. Then all of a sudden they were different colors though, and that got weird.
Mm.
The weird little pink figures, but as all your favorites from Kaiju Big Battle, Dr. Cube, Los Platanos.
Los Plátanos.
Yes, it's
The
fantastic.
plantains.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
Okay. Call me Kevin. Dusto Bunny. God, it's been so long since I pulled them up.
I know, right?
Because they're weird. So, even like their online presence feels weirdly underground.
Yeah.
Their
site is weird.
I almost feel
on
like
purpose.
It's on purpose because it looks like an old GeoCities site that just didn't quite translate over to modern browsers. Nah, man, that's all on purpose, and it's weird. Kaiju Big Battle, go check them out.
All right, so we're coming up on it. Just two more quick stories.
Ooh,
Tegan Knox, who has yet to make her NXT debut.
Mm-hmm.
She's been on. I don't know if I'm pretty sure she's signed to the company.
Right.
And she's been doing the NXT house circuit.
Mm-hmm.
She was in the Mae Young Classic this year.
Yeah.
Injured as fuck.
How injured? What happened?
It's something with her leg.
Okay.
So she had earlier this year just come back from some sort of knee injury or something.
Right.
So she signed to the company, got hurt, and then she had her big comeback. She was doing house shows. She was teaming with Dakota.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so she was at the Mae Young Classic, and let me see if there's any kind of update because I didn't link a
dude. If you're gonna be coming tagging with any upcoming female prospect in NXT, Dakota Kai is an amazing one to do it.
Right.
She has like some sort of, she has that like same weird it factor that Johnny Gargano's got. That like, oh, this is a babyface I could really get behind. Oh, they're in peril. I'm really worried about them and concerned about their well-being. Oh no.
So it happened. First of all, there was a update 8 hours ago from Triple H, and the question here when I looked it up so it happened during a match. She had a match and she got hurt in the match. Let's see what this update says though. Taping this month at Triple H provided a minor update. Hunter spoke with the media to promote Brooklyn and said it would be a while before Knox will be able to return to the ring, knowing how she's got a long road ahead. She's an amazing talent, and this isn't the end for her.
Mm-hmm. She's young as all get out, too, man.
She
23, yeah.
Doesn't I know? Dang it! I was hoping it. I read who she was in the ring with, and it doesn't seem to be in any of these articles. Triple H calls the injury heartbreaking.
Man, 23 is young. And anytime you're laid up for any length of time, like, even if it's quick and easy, like a 3 month being on the shelf, that's forever at that young in a career. 6 months is forever. And we just saw with the big comeback on Monday, Dean Ambrose was out for how long? 9 months?
Yep.
That's forever.
It is.
It was so long that people got crazy amped for it on Monday because it was weirdly kind of unexpected. It's almost like this is going to be a big one. They're going to save it for a big show. We hear he's almost good again. He's almost ready to go. When are they going to use him? When are they going to pull the trigger? Is it going to be story after SummerSlam? Boom, there he was. 9 months. Forever. Even at his stage of a career. It's a long time to be on the shelf and not making money and not promoting yourself and not pushing who you are. Especially when Tegan Knox had an opportunity there in the Mae Young tournament. And it looks like she was potentially going to go very far in it.
Yeah.
And, but you know what? Leg injury, a lot better than hearing spinal. A lot better than hearing neck injury. Like, you snap a leg
Ray
in half.
Ripley. That's who she was working. Ray Ripley, who...
Oh, she's good, too.
I'm looking forward to seeing her. She hasn't debuted in NXT either, but she was great in the Mae Young Classic last year.
Yeah.
Also, I mean...
All of a sudden, they're just importing 6.5 foot tall New Zealanders and Australians.
Yeah. Since the Mae Young Classic last year, Mia Yim had gotten hurt, and she was back this year better than ever. Well, I say that. I didn't see it, but I can only assume because she's terrific, and I can't wait to see her.
Right.
And Nicole Savoy, who was in last year's.
Oh, yeah.
She had injured her leg like prior to last year's Mae Young, and she came back, and she had a great showing.
You know what? I haven't really looked down the whole roster yet to see who all's there and who all I know and who all I know from other things. Santana Garrett back?
Yes.
Okay.
And what's funny is her and Deonna Purrazzo are both in it. Both wrestled in NXT, like, briefly. And
hey, man, that's a great place to be. Even if it's kind of a side grade, filling out that tournament and being a somewhat known entity, you've been seen before. That's pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic.
All right, so we are right there against it, and we don't have to do that one thing because, I don't have.
Oh, there's the music.
Just
Do you want to find it just to feel better about yourself?
No, I forgot to cut it.
Okay, I think I've almost got to the one more thing.
With we don't have to do that because I actually have 2 or 3 here.
Very good. I got a big one that needs mentioned.
Aleister Black injured.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a 1-on-1 Ciampa versus Gargano, last man standing at Brooklyn.
Good God.
Insane.
Just when you think it can't progress any further, there it is.
SmackDown Live event, October 15th is a Monday. So it's against Raw.
Weird.
Yeah. But it's SmackDown Live. So in Richmond, I'm thinking about going to that.
Oh.
And
that'll be a weirdly attended one. And you know what? Those more intimate shows are amazing.
Plus it's going to be SmackDown.
Yeah, going to a local show is fantastic. Going to a local show on a weird night, great.
Yeah. And also, I had one other note. So you have something they're telling us we have to go?
It might be slightly bigger. I just got one question for you. What was Coach's word of the hours this week? Replaced. Renee placed.
Oh, man, she was good.
Yeah, she was.
She was comfortable.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
That's something that can't be taught.
Yeah.
Either get it from the get-go and pick it up and get better with it, or it never clicks, Coach.
Yeah. I still think that she would be better replacing Cole, learning the play-by-play. I think she would be terrific.
Yeah.
At play-by-play. She hasn't gotten that. She keeps having to be caller.
That being said, Cole even Cole ain't one to tweet a whole lot.
Yeah.
Was out there saying he felt young again and felt energized with Graves and Renee on the call with him.
She wasn't in the way a lot. I would like her to be more vocal.
You to be vocal at all on day one of the big desk. Awesome. And she's done nothing but prove herself over and over and over again. She was the heart and soul of Talking Smack, man.
Absolutely.
And any of the Raw wrap-up things, any of the post-show things, everything they put in front of her to do, she has done with poise, grace, and just an amazing depth of knowledge and a passion for the art form and the sport, man.
I have no right to be proud, and I say that a lot. I have no right to be proud, but I was. You know what I mean? Like this is funny. We had the conversation last week where we can't do the people from NXT don't do anything. It's permeated everywhere. Renee, Graves, Saxton, Phillips.
They're the best.
I mean, the 205 Live team is all NXT. I mean, now one of them is Nigel McGuinness, who obviously is NXT technically.
He's done things.
Yeah. But Percy Watson, NXT. NXT is all over WWE's brand.
What's great is Percy Watson is a little bit behind the higher end of it. I'll take Percy Watson any day over Coach. Yeah. You know why? Because you can tell he actually legitimately loves being there, is happy to be there, ready to work to promote the talent on the show without getting himself over, loves and respects the business, and it shows up every day to work, man.
And also,
I'll take that over, I've got a thing, look at me.
It also works. He works better on 205 than he does on NXT. Percy.
And it takes a little bit of the pressure off, and it's more action-oriented rather than story-driven.
Yeah.
And that's great, man. If that's your fit, that's cool.
All right. And so...
Sorry, that was a bit bigger than I tell
yeah.
Renee had to be mentioned. Yay, she great.
She great, and I hope that puts her on the radar.
Yes. She has to have been on the radar for ages.
Yeah.
And I hope this was just like a fluke. Yeah,
well, again, because she, at one point when Tom Phillips first came up, it was her and Tom doing main event. And she had that brief moment where she got to do that. And it was maybe all of a month or something. But she got a chance. And then they backed off of it. And then they were doing Talking Smack. And then backed off of that. I still feel like play-by-play. If they let her do play-by-play somewhere. Because she's a terrific pilot. She's amazing at controlling the traffic.
You've got basically Tom Phillips pushing it over on SmackDown, right? Cole is a mainstay, and he ain't going anywhere for a while.
Yeah.
But hey, man, there comes a day where everybody retires and everybody goes. There was a while where we're like, oh man, JR and the King are going to be the announce team forever.
Yeah.
And then they weren't. And then it was okay. And then wrestling moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Renee impressed a lot of people.
Yep.
Just don't F it up. And she more than just didn't F it up.
Yeah.
She excelled.
And
wonderful.
You know what was great? And I know this
Yeah,
is...
Renee.
Well, yeah. But
Also gravy.
I know this is silly, but it gave an air of importance to the women's matches.
Yeah.
Like a legit... I don't know. It didn't... They don't necessarily write off the women's matches.
They do that with they have like the women referees down in NXT. And it's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But once you get to the announcers, that feels like okay, there's a level of parity that's beginning to settle in.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with gender. It's ability.
Yes.
And she has it in droves.
And I feel like the men announcers don't... Look,
They don't connect on that level as much.
exactly.
Like I talked about with the Anvil earlier. Having somebody that represented me, I felt, did an amazing thing to help me connect to the rest of the product and involve me in the universe.
I understand that
You can't tell me that doesn't happen with just on gender as well. Gender is a way broader field than just build. You know.
Yeah, I know that the men do fine, but having that voice there, just it made it feel. I lost my train of thought, if you couldn't tell. So I'm just gonna leave it. I'm starting to get tired now too.
Renee did great.
She was great, and I hope she gets more opportunities. We know that she gets the opportunity in October for the big Evolution event.
Oh yeah,
That's her and Beth with Cole at the anchor.
it's gonna be fun.
Yep. And the very last thing we'll note: ROH Dojo Pro. Have you seen this?
No.
It's a new thing. It's sort of their NXT. It's all their unsigned or developmental talent, and it's set up like, you remember how Mortal Kombat had the tournament style?
Oh God, they're killing each other.
Well, minus the killing, obviously.
Oh well.
But like, you wrestle the bottom tier, and then you go to the next tier, and next. That's how it's set up. So you wrestle the first guy, the winner gets a white belt.
Ooh.
And then you wrestle the next guy, and this season...
Mirror matches are going to be weird.
Yeah.
I'm stupid. Don't
This
mind me.
season, I lost the guy's name. Utah. Yuta. Utah.
Great Power Udi?
He won 2 matches, and apparently he's the first person to ever to actually defend the white belt. So he won the first 2, and then he just lost to Joey Janela. So Janela is the new white belt champion, and he's going to wrestle the next guy, and there's like at least 6 or 7 matches left. And then the winner wins the black belt, and then they get a ROH television championship match.
It's fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. And
You're building depth of field to your competitive ranks.
Yeah, and
while giving people an opportunity to prove themselves.
And it's in like just a gym. Like the gym is barely bigger than the ring, and there's like a line of people around watching, and then it's just the wrestlers, and it's
there's a weird level of authenticity to that it connects to that indie level, and that's cool.
Yeah,
All
man. Sorry, that went longer than I expected. It did.
I'm gonna
They
save
agree.
it for the very end. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes. Ooh. I
got
did
through it.
not invoke his name. The big. Hey, everybody! We're hashtag WrestlePals.
It's boss time.
If you, God damn it! That wasn't who I was talking. Okay, it was. Hey, we're hashtag WrestlePals. If you dig us, dig what we do, we want to reach out to us. Twitter's usually the best place, at WrestlePalsVA there. Or if you want to check it out on Facebook, facebook.com/WrestlePalsVA on there. If you want to check out the repository for the the video version of the podcast. We store those over on YouTube. You search for hashtag WrestlePals, spell it all out, hashtag WrestlePals. If you prefer the audio-only version, iTunes is usually the best repository for all your podcast
You like
needs.
that word?
I do. I love it very much. Search for hashtag WrestlePals there. You can find not our smiling faces there. It's just our
Wrestle buddies.
dulcet tones. Dulcet tones on the hashtag WrestlePals. You want to get in touch with us individually? Justin is not that hard to get a hold of. You go over to Twitter right now, and if you tweet at the Hulkster, he will like it, and he will respond with at least a hi. And a certain individual will get a hi Yukio. I don't understand what that means. It's
Hi,
weird.
Yukio.
Christ almighty.
Hi, Wade.
Also, check out what he's doing over at patreon.com/ohhijustin.
Yeah.
He's got a weird mix of error thing over there. Go say hey to him.
It's getting deeper, too. You heard the idea me and Jenny were talking about.
Yes, I did. Goddamn weirdos. Bunker stuff, swear. If you want to get in touch with me, what do you...
I do.
All right, okay. At the Nate Project on Twitter. Send a tweet there. I'll see it. I always do. There it is. Cool. Makes me feel awkward. Ruins my day. If you liked... It's like 12 of you sons of bitch. I say don't. Don't tweet me at the Hulkster.
Well, yeah.
See if that works. No? Don't tweet me. I just really fucked it up because I'm tired.
That's fine.
Don't tweet me at the Nate Project. It'll ruin my day, make me feel weird about it. And I might respond every once in a while. Like every 3 months, I'll, I don't know, send a picture or something back. It's weird.
That's commitment.
That's commitment bit. Hey, everybody. I'm going to bed.
That's
like
commitment.
right over there. Like now. Tired. Goddamn hashtag WrestlePals.
We some southern boys with the promise strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next.
My keys and my little dog is bone. So I pick him up and I'm gonna carry home. But he a mean dog, bit me in the spare rib. And I'm take him home, put him in the baby crib. Yeah, I don't know the words, AJ Styles. You know what you are? You're phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Hooray for happy accidents, but it's no mishap that I care. Pump the brakes, there's more to come. Wherever this goes, I'll see you there. The problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. They say that those are the breaks. I say that's why we riot. With the shoes of those lovely kicks, you'll get laid out, but I suggest you try it. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, her tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire. Problem child, the tongue is blue. Live his life and it kicks off fire.
Randy's
It
Viper.
kicks off fire. It kicks off fire. It kicks off fire. It kicks off fire.